Okay, we're finally back to school. What's up, guys? My name's Luis. I'm a rising fourth year student at Queen's University studying computer science. Today, we're talking about essential items that you need to get as a frosh. Before we start, I want to inform a couple mistakes that university students make before coming here. So, the first one is bringing too much stuff. If you have the chance, check out your residence blueprint or any reference photos before coming in. So, you could do this through going through the school's website or asking a former university student. If you go to Queen's University, you can even DM me on Instagram at Luis Manguba or the Pipe Dream. And yeah, I can help you out. Second of all, is checking out retail stores nearby. So if you live far from your university like me, it's probably a good thing to do to check out the nearest IKEA store, Bed Baths and Beyonds, and anything like that before buying any big purchase items. That's because you don't want to bring these big things through a plane, and especially now, it's kind of hard. So, I highly recommend just checking these stores out before buying anything. However, if you did bring too many things to your dorm, I have a little hack later in the video that can help you get more space in your residence, in your dorm. Anyways, let's get started. First is to get beddings. If you're a first year university student in Canada, you're probably going to get a twin size bed. This is probably default. However, I do recommend still getting decent quality beddings, especially in residence. There are going to be a lot of people screaming in the hallway. You're going to have a lot of sleepless nights and you're going to cram for that test. So I highly recommend just getting good quality beddings to get the best sleep possible. By far the most important thing as a college student. We're not going to get enough of it. It's just I guess the lifestyle. So if you're like me and 6 hours sleepless nights, getting a good quality beddings is highly recommended. This includes a duvet, memory foam, and a thick blanket. Another item that a lot of universities don't get is a memory foam pillow. This is by far the best investments I made for my sleep. I sometimes have neck pains when I wake up or I just feel really lightheaded. So getting a memory foam pillow saves my day and gets me better sleep ever since. And yeah, I highly recommend this if you have any sleeping issues. Okay. Next is getting slippers. Please get a pair of slippers dedicated to just walking around. Your hallways really disgusting. You don't know what people been doing in those hallways, and your bathroom's also going to be like that. So I know it's pretty standard for East Coast schools in Canada to have a public bathroom that the entire floor just uses. So there might be a couple of them, but there's still a lot of people. So like, I think for my dorm, it was around, I think, 10 to 15 people using the same public bathroom. So I highly recommend just getting slippers. You want to use this when you're over your shower. Don't go barefoot. That's really nasty. Highly recommend that. You don't know what people are doing there. Next is getting an extension cord. I highly recommend getting an extension cord. You can buy these pretty easily at your school's merchandise store. You don't have to buy this before going to school. You can, like I said, check out photos of where you're living at and see how many sockets there are. But there's a pretty high chance there are not going to be many, and definitely not enough for the new college student. So I highly recommend getting at least one extension cord. Next is a pair of headphones. So I highly recommend getting a pair of headphones because I guarantee at Friday night people are yelling in the hallway. I guarantee on a Friday night people are yelling on the hallway. So I highly recommend getting a good pair of headphones. The one I use is the Sony AE2. They don't make them anymore, but I got a new pair called the Soundcore Air Liberty 2s, I believe. And these you can buy these for $100 on Amazon. So I highly recommend getting one of these. Oh, and by the way, all of these items will be linked down below. So if you want to check them out, check out the description down below. And yeah, so the reason why you want to get these is because they're pretty cheap. So if you're like me, I sometimes lose these things. They're really small. So if you work out a lot or just running around campus, sometimes you're gonna forget things. And I don't like spending a lot of money in headphones, especially something this size that can be lost very easily. So I highly recommend just throwing out at most $150 in any kind of headphones or earphones. Don't spend any more. I guarantee in these 4 years something's gonna happen to them. But if you're super careful, then ignore that advice. But like if you're like me, highly recommend just getting cheaper earphones. So next thing is a laptop. I highly recommend getting something that's very reliable and fast. So I would recommend getting any of the MacBooks, the Air or the Pro. And the thing I would specifically get is a bit higher storage. So anything around 256 and 512 gigabytes, if possible. If you're a computer science major and want something a bit beefier to run your code a bit faster, so I recommend getting a MacBook Pro specifically, or getting what I currently have, which is getting a Dell XPS 15. They're pretty good for the price. It's still pretty high end, a bit cheaper than a MacBook Pro, but it has a dedicated graphics card and a bit more memory. And I think it's a better purchase. But you can definitely get cheaper ones. But it's been good for me. So if you're into YouTube, coding, or even photography, higher recommend getting this laptop. It can do all that pretty fast. And lastly is my secret, which is a bed riser. So give me 1 second. I'll pick it up right now. So one of these is called a bed riser. So basically, this is very helpful if you brought too much stuff to your dorm, and you can basically shove all your luggage under your bed so no one can see it. Yeah, so it's super helpful if you brought too much stuff, and I highly recommend getting it even if you didn't bring too much stuff. So over time, you're gonna buy a few things. So I highly recommend this. It's also good just to have a higher bed. I don't know why some of the dorms have really low beds and just feels too low to sleep on. But yeah, I recommend that. And if you go into second year and go off campus housing where you can get a different size bed, this thing still works because it doesn't really matter what type of bed you have. And yeah, I recommend this. This will save you so much space and it'll just make your room a lot cleaner since you have more space overall. Anyway, thank you for watching. Comment down below if you want any tips, advice about university life, or anything about software development. I'm happy to make any videos about that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.